For the purpose of a special farewell address, the chair recognizes Representative Sabo.
Thank you, sir. One of the things I read a while back about preparing speeches and giving speeches, and it's kind of stuck with me over the years, is that you try to make the beginning very powerful and the end very powerful and make sure that those two are as close together as possible. So I'm going to do my best, Mr. Speaker, to be able to do that. So they will never forget you until somebody new comes along. That's what I think about in my time here in the Michigan House of Representatives. It's an Eagles song lyric. I don't know if it had the same meaning, but that's what it does kind of come to mind for me. Especially when I look back on how fast that these 6 years have gone and the massive turnover that this body is about to see. In parting, I want to take this opportunity to talk about my really unplanned journey to get here. And I've got people to thank along the way, of course. My mother, Vicki, she turned 17 years old on October 29th of 1966. And just 11 days later, I was born. And it was not easy for her to be a teenager, still be a teenager, and now have to raise a child as well. But she did it. But it took an entire family, of course, from my grandparents, Charles and Lois Knapp, Frank and Helen Sabo, all of my aunt and uncles, and my stepfather for over 50 of my current 56 years, Larry Liefers. They have all now since passed, with the exception of those aunts and uncles and my stepfather. Because in 1985, I graduated from Ravenna High School with a well-earned ranking of somewhere around 60 out of 69 graduates. And it's safe to say that I was really going nowhere fast, but I knew in my heart that I was a good person and I wanted to make my family and my community proud. So I joined the U.S. Air Force and served 4 years there, which really prepared me for my future of serving and gave me friendships that are still cherished to this day. I returned home to Muskegon County and embarked on what would be a 25-year career in public safety between being a police officer and a firefighter for the city of Muskegon Heights, all while always having an interest in local government. In 2010 and 2011, I watched this chamber start to try to take away rights from workers, public and private, by those that were holding the gavel. Workers who were police officers and firefighters, long before it became a political rallying cry to support such professionals, were having their rights stripped away from them when it come to retiree health care, at least threatened to be stripped away from them when it come to retiree health care and their pensions, as well as other workers' rights. So in 2011, while still serving as a firefighter, I applied for and was appointed to the Muskegon County Road Commission. I wanted to have a seat at the table and become more involved in my community. Then in 2012, I ran for my first political office and was elected to the Muskegon County Commission, and then re-elected in 2014, and subsequently elected by my fellow commissioners as the chair. In late 2015, I announced my candidacy for this state house seat with my mother, my family, and my friends by my side. Unfortunately, just a couple of short months later, my mother tragically died in a drowning accident. Looking back now, if I accomplished nothing else, I know that I've made her proud, and the rest of my family too. But now for my time here, I'm thankful for all of those that have helped me. First and foremost, I want to thank the voters of Greater Muskegon's 92nd House District. They, along with my political supporters, are the ones who put their faith in me to represent them, and I hope that they've seen my dedication to our community. I gave it everything I had. I'm thankful to all the staff that support us as legislators throughout the caucus staff, the state staff, and my own personal staff. Greg McCullough was with me from the start. He has been here in Lansing, serving in Lansing for 32 years, the last 24 of which have been at the very same desk, working as the back desk in my office, as he has for three previous state representatives before me. He has been a dedicated servant to the greater Muskegon area. I am not 100% sure what his future is. I thought he was going to be retiring. He did not want to be here today to be on the House floor because he kind of comes from the old school, in that in his belief, it is the legislator is at the forefront and should have all the attention, and his role is to stand in the background and make sure that I look good, and he did a damn good job of doing that. So I don't know what his future plans are, but we shall see. William Snyder. He has also been with me from the start, actually, even before I got here. He worked for me at home as my campaign manager, and now we're now calling him, for at least for the next couple of weeks anyways, Representative-elect Will Snyder. He has got a tremendous future ahead of him, and I have no doubt that he is going to do a fantastic job representing the greater Muskegon area. Now, I can tell you that in my office, we, as the three of us, the core three of us, we fought like cats and dogs, I'm not going to lie. It's amazing that we made it for those 6 years, but we did. Because I think we all have our respect for each other and what we brought to the table. And I take a lot of pride in that, we all had that opportunity to do our best, and I think that they did as well. And I'm very appreciative. I think I'm one of the few legislators that can say that I had the very same staff that I started with at the end. And again, I take a lot of pride in that. But there's a couple other individuals there, too, that I want to make sure that I mention. Brooke Hansen. Brooke came to our office as a fellow from MSU, brand new out of school, had no idea what she was going to do or what she was doing, and she came to our office, and we took her in, and we had a great time working with her, and I think she felt the same way. She went on to work for other legislators here in Lansing as well, but now has since moved on into another career. And also Alex Burkle. Alex, I poached Alex from the leader's office this past summer. He knew it was only going to be a temporary thing. He tackled the job head first, and he's now as well since moved on, and he's got a tremendous future ahead of him as well. And I want to thank them both for being a part of our office, even though it was for such a short amount of time. But I have 10 grandchildren. Braylyn is the oldest. She's a freshman in high school, believe it or not. And then she's followed by Ian, Nico, Addie, Adric, Taryn, Halen, Gabriel, Zachary, Aubrey, and I should note that Aubrey is my newest grandchild. She was just born on October 27th. So we were pretty excited to see her, as you can imagine, as soon as the election was over with. But our 4 children for Denise and I are Ryan, Bianca, Aubrey, and Garrett. And I want to thank them for allowing me to serve my community, but I also want to apologize. Because serving my community, to me, meant giving it everything that I had. And I really missed out on a lot of things, and I believe that they missed out on having their grandfather there with them. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why my wife can't be here today, because she's on grandmother duty. So I want to thank them and apologize to them for that, because it does take so much out of your life to be able to do this job, and I'm looking forward to spending more time with each and every one of them. My wife, Denise, I don't know of a person that is more beautiful on the inside and outside. She has given so much. She has given so much, excuse me, and endured so much that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to repay her. I would not be here if it was not for her. Her understanding, our sweat, our tears through all these elections, and amongst many other things. She has shown me what true love truly is. And I don't think I've ever had a better friend. She is amazing. And I thank her. She's watching on House TV now. So now in closing, I'm not 100% sure what the future holds for me, but I think that's what makes it even more exciting. I do know one thing, and that's my family and friends are by my side. As a matter of fact, a couple people from this year's campaign stopped by the Capitol today, drove over from Muskegon, and Bridget Fox and Jenny Naffey. It's hard for me to call Jenny Naffey by her first name since she was my high school English teacher. So that makes it very difficult. But they have been with me this entire year, and they wanted to be here today. So I thank them for that. I want to thank all of my colleagues here today and in my previous terms for contributing to my lasting memory of this glorious institution called the Michigan State Capitol. And as my probable final words here on the floor of the Michigan House of Representatives, I'll go back to the reported last words of the late Beatles great John Lennon to his lifelong friend, Paul McCartney. Think about me every now and then, old friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative.